My friend mirrors everything I do, and now she's copying my medical condition. I have this friend, let's call her Kayla. Kayla and I have known each other since high school, about 10 years now. We weren't super close at first, but over time, through mutual friends and being in the same classes, we kind of drifted into each other's circles. I wouldn't say she was my best friend, but we were close enough. We hung out after school, went to parties, did sleepovers, teenage girl stuff. Back then, Kayla was, how do I put this? Charming, but forgettable. Like, people liked her well enough, but she didn't really stand out. She didn't have any strong opinions, no particular hobbies. She just kind of existed in the background. And I remember thinking even then that she always sort of picked up on what other people were into. If I was obsessed with a band, Kayla would suddenly be their biggest fan. If our other friend Emma got into photography, guess who begged her parents for a fancy camera 2 weeks later? At the time, it felt harmless. Teenage girls are impressionable, right? We all copy each other a little bit. But over the years, it never really stopped. After high school, we both stayed in the same town for college, different schools, but we still hung out. I majored in graphic design. About a year later, Kayla, who had been undecided, suddenly declared the same major. "Oh my God, we'll be like design besties," she gushed. I remember feeling a little weird about it, but told myself it was fine. It's a common enough major, people change their minds. Whatever. Then came the clothes. I'd buy a leather jacket, and 2 days later, Kayla would show up in an almost identical one. I dyed my hair dark red sophomore year. Kayla did the same thing a week later. I started dating this guy, Mark, and Kayla conveniently decided she had a crush on his roommate. Every hobby I picked up, every Netflix show I raved about, every band I obsessed over, suddenly, it was Kayla's thing too. I started to get annoyed, but I didn't want to be that person who accuses someone of copying them like we're still in middle school. I told myself it was flattery. Maybe she just looks up to me. Maybe she doesn't realize she's doing it. But then it started to get more invasive. After college, I landed a job at a small marketing agency. About 3 months in, Kayla calls me, giddy, saying she applied there too. I hadn't even told her we were hiring. "How did you know we had openings?" I asked. "Oh, I saw it on LinkedIn," she claimed. I checked. There was no public listing, which meant she'd either stalked the company website obsessively or overheard me talking about it to someone else. She ended up getting hired, and suddenly, we were working together. Now mind you, this wasn't a huge agency. It was a tight-knit group of maybe 20 people. Having Kayla there meant I couldn't escape her. If I brought lunch from this cute little bistro down the street, Kayla would start showing up with the same sandwich the next day. If I wore a particular pair of earrings, she'd compliment them, and then buy an identical pair. People started noticing. "Wow, you two are like twins," my coworker Jenna laughed once. It made my skin crawl. I tried to pull back. I stopped telling her what shows I was watching. I kept my weekend plans vague, but she'd find out anyway, through mutual friends, through social media, through casual eavesdropping, and then she'd weave herself into whatever I was doing. Now here's where it gets dark. About a year ago, I started having some weird health issues. Nothing huge at first, just random fatigue, headaches, and this constant dull ache in my joints. I chalked it up to stress. Work was intense, and I wasn't taking care of myself. But then it got worse. Some days, I could barely get out of bed. I'd get these flare-ups where my hands would swell up so badly I couldn't hold a pen. The fatigue was bone deep. Not sleepy, but like my body weighed 1,000 pounds. I went to a doctor, then a specialist, blood tests, MRIs, you name it. After months of poking and prodding, I was diagnosed with lupus, an autoimmune disease where your immune system basically attacks your own tissues and organs. It wasn't a death sentence, but it was chronic, something I'd be managing for the rest of my life. I didn't tell a lot of people, just my family and a couple of close friends. I debated whether to tell Kayla at all, but she noticed I was missing work, saw me wearing wrist braces, and asked what was going on. So I told her, reluctantly. She cried, made this huge show about how sorry she was, brought me cupcakes, asked 1,000 questions about my symptoms, my medications, my doctor. And then a few weeks later, she starts posting these vague, cryptic tweets. Why do doctors never take women's pain seriously? Another blood test. I'm so over this. My body is betraying me. I side-eyed it but figured maybe she was going through something unrelated. People can have health issues at the same time. But then she started telling mutual friends that she thought she might have lupus too. My heart dropped. At first, I tried to be supportive. I asked what symptoms she was having. She rattled off an almost identical list to mine. Same joint pain, same fatigue, same mouth ulcers, same weird rashes. I asked what her doctor said. Oh, I haven't gone yet, but I just know, you know? She started wearing wrist braces even though I never saw her struggle to open a door or hold a glass. She'd complain about the office lights being too bright. She even texted me once asking what brand of compression gloves I used, just to see if they helped. Then she started showing up late to work, blaming flare-ups, begging our boss for accommodations, dropping hints about needing time off for specialist appointments. I was livid. I tried to confront her gently, asked if she was okay, if she was maybe projecting. She got defensive, said I was being unsupportive, that women are so often dismissed when it comes to invisible illnesses. And here's the thing, she wasn't wrong, but in this case, she was faking it. And it wasn't just affecting me anymore. Our co-workers started assuming we had some weird codependent thing going on. I overheard Jenna whisper once, "It's like Kayla's trying to be her." It made me sick. About 2 months ago, I finally snapped. I showed up at her apartment unannounced with my medical files in a folder, sat her down. "Kayla, I need you to stop," I said. "This is my life, my illness. You don't have this." She burst into tears, accused me of being cruel, said I didn't understand what it was like to feel broken and not be believed. I told her if she was genuinely sick, she needed to see a doctor and stop copying my symptoms like some twisted roleplay, that it was damaging, to me, to the people around us. She didn't say a word, just sobbed. I left. I blocked her on everything the next day. Word got around at work. Jenna cornered me and asked what happened. I didn't go into detail, just said Kayla and I weren't friends anymore. 2 weeks later, Kayla quit. I heard from a mutual friend that she's taking time for her health. No one's seen a diagnosis. Meanwhile, I'm trying to rebuild my life. I switched jobs, moved apartments, cut ties with a few mutuals who fed her info. I still wake up some days half expecting to see her outside my building. It's left me paranoid, exhausted. I struggle to trust people now. I keep my circle tight. And I still don't fully understand why. Why someone would mirror a friend's illness. Why she couldn't just be herself. But I guess some people don't know how. If you made it this far, thanks for reading. I don't know if there's a lesson here except maybe trust your gut. If someone's behavior feels off, it probably is. Has anyone else dealt with a mirror friend? Or someone who took things too far? I'd love to hear your stories. Because even now, I'm not sure what the hell I just lived through.